Now, this is more the point. These oaths that they say bargain future generations, and it becomes like a spiritual debt that is passed down through the generations. I previously mentioned that oaths are so integrated into our lives that we take them unknowingly. Let me give you one example that I stumbled across when examining my own life. Where I grew up, there was a church up the road. And like many other churches, they hosted clubs such as Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, Guides, Brownies, and so on. And I was a member of both Beavers and Cubs. Now, before you're able to join, you have to study the code. Then you swear an oath. Only then are you accepted into the program. I'm so sorry. Just saying that now, I know for a fact that is so demonic. Isn't that what Jesus says? Anything more than yes or no is from the evil one. That is full-blown initiation. Isn't that what happens in sororities, in secret societies, in Freemasonry? I needed to look further into the oath that I said when I was a child, when I joined Cubs, when I joined Beavers. And a few words stood out to me. You swear an oath to God and to the reigning monarch. And it ends by saying to keep the Scout law. So my question is, why are we swearing to God and the monarch when God tells us not to do that? Secondly, I had to investigate the origins of the Scout law, because if I'm going to swear by it, or I've sworn by it, I've sworn to keep the Scout law, I need to know what the Scout law is and what the history of the Scout law is. And what I discovered is that it was written by General Baden-Powell, who was inspired by Ernest Thompson Seton, the founder of the Woodcraft Indians, which was an outdoor program specializing in woodcraft for boys and then later girls. It was based on activities and language deriving from the traditions of the Native Americans, which is why you will see that for the positions within the program, as in this is modern day now, you would have chief and the second chief, and you would yell out Akela, which I didn't know is a spirit. Because remember, the tribes of the Native Americans are steeped in mysticism, witchcraft, astrology, nature, and demonic rituals. These programs also include candle ceremonies and so on and so forth. Ernest Thompson Seton in 1921 founded Brownies for girls and boys from ages 6 to 11, and this organizational structure consisted of various lodges, including Big Lodge, Sun Lodge for adults, and the Red Lodge, which was for those who wanted a more spiritual approach to woodcraft. I don't know if it's me, but this is beginning to sound very familiar to something else that we just spoke about. To be a candidate for the Red Lodge, you had to go to sleep in the woods for 100 days before even being considered. In Scouts, to earn particular badges, it's also required you to go sleep outside for X amount of days. Now, am I saying it's evil to sleep outdoors? No. But I'm examining the roots of these activities, and when they are tied to initiations, our alarm bells should be sounding. Oh, and did I mention that it was also likely that General Baden-Powell, the guy who wrote the Scout Law, was likely to be a Freemason, and he had 6 Freemason lodges named after him. And did you realize that those lodges were founded by the Scouts? And another thing, did you know that his writings on the program, on the Cub Scout program, was also heavily influenced or inspired by the Freemasonry writings of his friend Rudyard Kipling, who was a member of Lodge Hope and Perseverance. That's another Freemasonry lodge, by the way. And you know where I found all of this out? You guessed it, the Freemasonry website. It's just out in the open. Like, they're not trying to hide anything. And do you know, to this very day, do you know who the Scouts are funded by? Yes. They're funded, not founded. Well, they are founded, but they're founded and funded by the Masons.